Let's take a look at today's debate that is divided among two major clashes, right? Number one clash talks about the idea of justification and deterrence, and number two clash talks about the idea of benefits and harms that is creating better worlds, right? Under the first clash, which has been becoming the major clash in today's debate, under the idea of justification, let's talk about the intention of corruptors, right? We say that it is the sole intention of corruptors to do these kinds of corruption. Why is that so? Because we think corruptors is not in an environment where they need to do corruption. They are in a safe and proper environment to not do corruption, ladies and gentlemen. And they, from the very first place, they know that corruption is a bad thing to do, because through a long journey we have stated we are fighting the idea of corruption. We have been telling people not to do corruption. Then this narrative exists in today's status quo, ladies and gentlemen, but they do it anyway. So we think that it's coming, the intention is coming from themselves. But opening opposition saying that this intention has been contributed by many factors. They're also saying that corruption is necessary in developing countries for these corruptors to maintain power. We think that this is a fatal mistake. Why is that so? Because opening opposition models and justification promotes harmful narrative that equalize corruption to structural crimes, ladies and gentlemen. These structural crimes are crimes which the intention of doing this crime is affected by many factors. For example, theft, murder, and harassment. The factors are, for example, environmental factors, that, for example, thieves are stealing something because he is in a bad neighborhood. Or secondly, it is a forced factors. For example, someone murder someone because they want to do a self-defense mechanism, or someone steal someone because of the economical pressure, right? But third factors is that the government contributes to any of these factors, environment and force factors. Why is that so? Because it is the duty of the government to actually create a safe environment, to actually create a safe economic cycle, to actually hire people and give people jobs, so that it is the contribution also. There is a certain portion of contributions that is coming from the government's side of this house to these crimes. Well, it is different from the corruption, ladies and gentlemen, because the government does not contribute to any of the happening of corruption, because rather the government has been fighting corruption with all these years, ladies and gentlemen. And this narrative will then worsen the status quo that battles corruption. And this narrative will also worsen the incompetent court trial and jail punishment for corruptors. In their world where this narrative is happening, the corruptors will then have more lobbying power and more power to justify their action, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, they will tend to have their way out to escape from court trial, or to be in a better room in jail, for example. And thirdly, it will also worsen the image of government within the society that has becoming the main victim of corruption, ladies and gentlemen. So we think that the harmful narrative that is justifiable by team opening opposition does not stand in today's debate. But second issue, on the issue of family, the opening opposition concerns on corruptors' family, on how they're saying it's just unjustifiable to actually punish corruptors' family. But OG respond this to say that it is not exclusive. There is media exposure in their world that is damaging the corruptors of family as well. This is a brilliant argument coming from OG, but we also contribute more in this argument by saying that firstly, the corruptors' family is not that innocent, ladies and gentlemen, because the awareness of battling corruptions is actually there in society, and the corruptor's wife or the corruptor husband actually have the capability to supervise or to be aware that there is a potential corruption that is currently happening, or currently has been done by the corruptors, ladies and gentlemen. So we think they are not that innocent. But even if they're innocent, they need to pay back the money for justice, ladies and gentlemen, because it is unjust for the poor families while they are suffering and the family of these corruptors are living in a welfare, right? But let's take a look at their world. Their world will create ignorance within the corruptors' family, friends, and surroundings, and will diminish awareness that has been built by the government through years of fighting corruption, right? So we think in this case we win also. But let's talk about the deterrence. They are saying their model of rehabilitation versus we are saying our model of extra punishment. Their rehabilitation, firstly, will not work. Why? Because it has less consequences. It does not punish these people for having the urge to do corruption. Therefore, it will not work. But secondly, it is not enough because even if these corruptors realizes their mistake, they still have resources, and that's why they begin the corruption at the very first time. Not because they don't know that the corruption is bad, but because they have the resources. And thirdly, there is no retribution because it is unjust for the society that pays taxes and their money is gone. In our world, at least we retrieve the money and it become the visible benefits towards the society, and we take the resources and power coming from these corruptors to actually prevent other candidates of corruptors, right? We win the first clash. But second clash under the benefit and harms, we win because we are saying that infrastructure growth will happen in our side of the house because we return the money, because we retrieve the money, right? But in their world, there will not be any growth because then the money will just be gone, right? But secondly, on the idea of awareness, right? Society will then help to fight corruption. Why is that so? Because society sees a visible benefits to fight for corruptions. Because they see if they fight corruptions, then they will get their money back in the form of infrastructure and public services, right? But in their world, the ignorance in the status quo will then continue to happen because there is no visible benefits of society fighting corruption. In the worst case, only in their best case, only when the corruptors are being rehabilitated and integrated back to the society, or the corruptors are in a jail punishment. We think that is not enough. But thirdly, under the idea of the government image, we think that the government also favors criminal justice system on how rehabilitation still exists in our world because the corruptors are being integrated to the majority of the society that is poor people, ladies and gentlemen. And to clarify, it is not that the corruptors and the family will not survive because at this time poor people still survive, right? So we are very proud to propose. Thank you.